The Wave 3 microphone looks very similar to this Wave 1 mic, and it only has a few differences that we'll take a look at right now. So on the Wave 1, you do have a control dial here, but this will only control headphone volume or the input gain and nothing else, and you can't actually change the function of the dial unless you go into software and do it. On the Wave 3, that dial has a little more functionality in that it can control the headphone volume, the input gain, or the mix for its onboard monitoring jack, all on the unit itself without having to drop back into the software to make those changes. So that might be a little more efficient if you're constantly adjusting things in the middle of your presentation or podcast or whatever else you're doing. Additionally, the Wave 3 mic, the more expensive one, can sample at a higher sample rate of 96 kilohertz versus 48 kilohertz on this one. So if you are an audiophile or producing some of what they call the high definition audio, if you will, 96 kilohertz might make a difference for people that are listening for that. I think for most people, especially people watching a stream or a YouTube video, it'll probably be harder to discern the difference in sample rate between those two things. This debate between 96 and 48 kilohertz has been raging forever. I'm not going to get into it because for me it all sounds good, but if you are looking for the 96 kilohertz sampling, this mic isn't going to do it for you. The Wave 3, though, will. The other difference is that the Wave 3 has a capacitive mute button, and you can mute this mic by pushing in its control dial, which I actually prefer because you're less likely to accidentally trip it. You have to actually push the dial in here to activate mute. But if you wanted a quicker way to mute your mic, the Wave 3 will offer that. Beyond that, though, these microphones are pretty much identical. They have the same cardioid mic built in, and because the Wave 1 and the Wave 3 have the same microphone, they have the same frequency response. These mics will pick up anywhere from 70 hertz to 20 kilohertz.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold level supporters Chris Allegretta, Tom Albrecht, Jim Callagher, Hot Sauce and Video Games, and Brian Parker. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to lon.tv/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit lon.tv/s.